So I'm in the car. Turn off the old blinkers. I got blinkers shining and everything like that. And in the middle of Tokyo, but I thought I'd do a car video because something came up while I was driving. I was thinking of something and I didn't want to do a video while I was driving. I thought I'd wait till I stopped. So I'm stopped, side of the road, relatively safe. I thought I'd do a video for you guys. So, last video I spoke about many things, but what I remember from the talk, I guess, if I'm to continue, is about being able to be yourself in networking situations. Find yourself, right? And tools of doing that, the listening tool, gathering information from the people around you and then determining where best to spend your resources or where best to be yourself, where you can be yourself the most. And I wanted to provide another example of where this goes wrong, okay? Because I can give you examples where it goes right, but let's talk about where it goes wrong, because when we're learning something new, we're going to fail more so than succeed. And we need to understand which failures are natural, which failures are going to happen regardless, and also which failures are just going to happen because of our nature. What are the kind of failures that are so insidious that we don't see them coming? And one of those, we talk about professionally and personally. Well, I'll talk professionally first, comes from like job hunting, job searching. Okay, so situation, there's pressure. You want to make money. You have dreams and goals and aspirations. And so you'll look at jobs that are in line with what you've done or how you see yourself. I'm an HR person, so I work in HR. So of course, I would naturally think the next job for me is head of HR or whatever that may be, something in the HR space. But is that true? The answer to that is no. I'm not an HR person. I'm Henry. That's what I am. I have certain skills and talents that fit HR sometimes and sometimes don't fit HR. But I've told myself in my mind, I have to be HR. Just like some people can tell themselves, I have to be IT or I have to be tech or something like that. For many reasons. One, that's how they see themselves. And two, maybe that's where the money is, where they perceive the value is. It's maybe where the world's telling them they should go. Maybe the recruiters are telling you this, etc. And that's a legitimate sabotager, derailer. And we've all fallen into this trap where someone has told us this is, what the world wants of you. This is what you can, this is where success is. And you need to do that, because doing otherwise is idiotic. And there may be a little bit of truth to that. There may not be a lot of jobs to be a clown or a juggler or that type of thing, so you have to balance it. But the issue is where you see yourself as something so much that you don't leave yourself open to being yourself, at least in some way, shape, or form. So, and in the example I give professionally, you're looking for a job, etc. After a while, using these techniques and tools, you'll come to understand who you happen to be. And you'll be spending a lot of time doing you, right? In the networking session. Let's say I'm head of HR. That's what I do. I do HR. I spend my time coaching. I spend my free time coaching. As a result of that, I start to get coaching requests, speech requests. And over time, I've seen that I could spend my time doing this coaching work rather than the HR work, which is fine with me, which is totally okay. But if I told myself I'm an HR person, I must be doing HR all the time, I wouldn't be open to the speeches, the coaching, the opportunities to be myself rather than being a title, right? And I've hired people where they say, I'm an HR person. This has to be my title. This has to be it because my career, my CV will look bad. I'm like, there are so many different types of CVs, so many different types of interview approaches. Your CV isn't going to get you the job. Your interview may not even get you the job. It's a combination of many things, but we tell ourselves it must be this, it must be that, for sometimes very good reasons. But at the end of the day, and this is where this process works, this is where the evidence comes in, this is the proof in the pudding, is when your job inevitably comes to an end, or your job, or you find a roadblock, an issue, your boss doesn't promote you, or this doesn't go right, if you've told yourself this path, this road, this job is the only way for me to be professionally satisfied, you're going to be frustrated, and frustrated in a way you cannot control, right? You can't control whether you're promoted. You can't control whether the HR industry goes up or down. You can control yourself, or at least theoretically you can control yourself. And if you spent time being yourself, you spent time doing you, there's nothing that can stop you for a long time. There may be times where people don't want coaching or don't want your skills set, but that's just because you haven't met the right people. And if you use that networking technique and you continue being yourself, you're going to find that avenue at some point. But you have to not let yourself be derailed by this legitimate situation. Same thing with partners, dating. Okay. And I mentioned before about divorce, and that's a long topic. So I won't get into too much detail on what that is, how that's related to this. At least not right now. I'll do it later. But in a relationship, when a relationship comes to an end, many times with people I've met, it comes to an end because things aren't working and there's a sense of frustration, and it builds up and it comes out in the form of arguments. You fight, you make up, you fight, the fights get worse, the resentment gets worse, the anger gets worse. And many people will say that in those moments where they lose their temper and they let out what they really feel to their partner, they're being themselves. But that's not true. It's context. Most of us being ourselves doesn't mean you're angry or frustrated. You're being yourself. What's happening when you explode, you're letting out feelings that have been repressed. And sometimes it's not really let out in a very positive way. And it just builds more pain. Let's put it that way. So what happens when you have a relationship, or when a relationship's going bad, let's say for instance, or it's not working out, we have a tendency to blame the partner. They don't listen to us. We don't respond to them well. Maybe sexually it's not working. It's them. And it's not them. It is you. It is us. Right? We need something they cannot provide. We want things they don't seem to want to do for us, right? You are X, they are Y, or you are Z and they are A. And that's what it's about. So what you want to do in those situations, in a relationship that's coming to an end, is you want to talk about what it is you're looking for, what it is you're trying to achieve in the relationship and in your life. And this is what you want. This is what you need. This is who you are outside of them in general, right? Because that's going to, and it's going to do many things, but the first and foremost is if you consistently provide the same message and the message is focused on you, your partner won't be they will be defensive. No one wants a relationship to end, but it becomes less and less about them. They understand it's about you. And if they care for you, they may be upset, but eventually they'll accept this, because every situation, every discussion isn't an attack on some shortcoming they have. It's just, this is who you are. This is what it's about. And if it's truly what you feel, it will come out in the communication of that. They will see this. If this is particularly someone that you trust and you've loved and they've loved you, they will see the genuineness of this, right? Additionally, it's good to know this, because when it comes to a partner, it's not about they ate food wrong or they're rude or whatever it happens to be, because a person is who they are, so to speak, right? And you are who you are. And really it's about whether or not this person helps you fulfill what it is you're trying to achieve. And believe it or not, the person that does this will probably be someone you never expected, but the focus isn't on them. The focus is, okay, I need someone who does this. I need to feel like this every day. I need to have the freedom to do X. And see if that person provides that. The person may be tall, fat, skinny, white, maybe whatever. But really, the joy and the happiness comes from not what someone looks like or how someone dresses. It comes from how they make you feel, how they empower you to be who you are. So the more you know about who you are, the better off you're going to be, not only in ending a relationship, right? And you'll maintain your relationships, trust me on this, better by being who you are and communicating it in that context. Will also help you find the partner that you deserve and you need. So anyway, that's today's lesson on happiness. Hope you have a good one.